Thank you very much. It's good to be here again. The last time I was here was in 87 or 88, I think, because as mentioned in my previous life, I was a banker, and I worked for first Bank of America and then maybe an Emerald Bank, responsible for Eastern Europe and Soviet Union at the time. Boy, things have changed. And that's basically what I'm going to talk about today, is how things have changed and how hopefully things continue to change. Now, we've done the Free Market Roadshow a number of times, and every year we have 2 or 3 topics. Last year was taxes and entrepreneurship, and the year before it was taxes and something else, and the year before that it was taxes. Something else I don't remember, but in any case, I'll give you the short thing. We're for lower taxes, and then we always have another topic to bring us ahead. So this year's topic is the sharing economy and those new things, and sharing economy, entrepreneurship, and that kind of thing. And when I told my son this year's topic, he's 25, so I think he said, what do you know about the sharing economy? You've used Uber once or twice, and you've never stayed in an Airbnb, and you're basically your classical baby boomer type guy. After the war, things got better, and we just accumulated stuff, and we bought stuff, and we got bigger apartments and bigger televisions and more cars. And if you were a 3-car family, you got 3 cars and whatever. And I've just recently moved twice in the last 3 years, so I now know how much stuff I have. Okay, so basically he's right. But then again, the sharing economy, I think at this point, is not really a new thing. It has come about because of, technology. It now makes it a lot easier. But I then decided, I've got to bring Hayek into this somehow. And he wrote a great article about the use of knowledge in society. And a lot of people think, it's just against central planning and so on. It's a 10-page article. I don't know about you, but I was a very lazy student, so I preferred short articles. Other people say I was a good economist, so minimum of input, maximum of output. But it's a good article to read. But basically what he says in the article is that knowledge in society is dispersed. And not everybody knows what everybody needs, and in a central place like Moscow at the time, it was very difficult for one guy in Moscow in a planned economy to know what people in Vilnius needed, which was why you didn't have a lot of cars and other stuff ending up in Vilnius, because some guy wrote a plan in Moscow and he didn't really know what was going on in Vilnius, and it didn't quite work. And that was one side of the coin. The other thing is that there was somebody in Vilnius at the time who actually knew, because he was here, what people in Vilnius needed. And because A, he knew what they needed, like, a park for your Lada, or a window pane for your dacha, and so on. Because he knew this, he could make money off it if he figured out how to get, that park or that window pane or whatever else was needed here locally. And then he could make a lot of money, and the central guy in Moscow, where he was clueless. And that was speaking for free markets, because dispersed knowledge and meeting of needs and the whole price mechanism and all this good stuff you hear about was better than the centrally planned economy because they didn't deliver what we all needed. Very short of it. I'm sure, you know, better economists. I'm not an economist, I'm practitioners. Deirdre and other great speakers on the roadshow will correct me, but that's what I get out of the article. Like I said, 10 pages, easy to read. Brings me to the sharing economy. And basically, it's all about the efficient allocation of resources, which is what it's always been about. It is not very efficient for me to acquire stuff and acquire stuff and acquire stuff because, you know, my car I use 10% of the week, 5% of the week, whatever the rest of the time it sits around. I have a guest room in my house, which is a nice thing to have, but you know, it's occupied when guests are there, and the rest of the time it's empty. And I have loads and loads of stuff at home that doesn't get used. So this new idea of the sharing economy is that we can make more efficient use of the resources thanks to, you know, this great technological invention which shares knowledge, you know, the smartphone and various platforms. So Uber lets me know in real time what what cars are available. It lets the drivers know. You know, the taxi industry, very old industry, you know, there are a certain number of taxis around here, and when it rains, there are none. So via this electronic platform, when all of a sudden all of us leave at the same time, and each of us types into our smartphone, assuming we all go home by car, we want to go home now, we type into the platform knows, and by miraculous power of technology, 100 cars will line up outside if you have 100 Ubers around here, and will take us home, which is a wonderful thing. And therefore, all these cars sitting around in driveways will be utilized more efficiently. The same thing goes for apartments. You know, we were just in Stockholm. They had the song contest. They have hotels in Stockholm, and they have private apartments in Stockholm, and so on. But you know, the city is not built for 20,000 people all showing up at the same time because they wanted to listen to people sing. So there was a shortage, and the hotels raised the prices to absolutely ridiculous levels for closets and so on. But of course, Airbnb made up for the rest, all thanks to this technology. All right, so how is that going to help us here create the new Silicon Valley? I'm saying this is platform-based. You have the possibility now, and this goes back to Hayek, to know more and to find other people with the same interest, to find unutilized resources worldwide. If you need, I don't know, Lithuanian Swahili translator, you can find that on the web. Or if you need a fantastic conference speaker, you can find me easily now. And all of this puts it together. I can't tell you all the individual uses. It's up to the individual who now has. I mean, I've been, as I said, I was here in '88, and there was no lack of knowledge in here. I mean, there were always smart people and people with ideas. They were inhibited by the system from achieving what they could achieve. But now I come here again. The first thing I notice is, you know, internet here is more freely available and a lot faster than it was in Stockholm, and they have Ericsson. So you have the platforms, and what use you make out of it, you can copy ideas that have been successful elsewhere. You can have your own ideas, But thanks to this wonderful technology, you can become entrepreneurs in this area. And you don't have to create anything, use the knowledge to create new companies. And I think that's the word. Thank you all very much.